up, my darlings? Welcome back to yet another video. If you are new to this channel, please press that subscribe button right now and join this part of the family because you're going to love it here. If you are a returning subscriber, darling, thank you so much for coming back. So today it is a sit down. I love sit down videos where I get to really just speak to you guys. So I decided, let me share something so sentimental and so personal to me and share the story of how I found out that I was pregnant, that I was going to be a mom. So I poured myself a glass of wine because I thought that, you know what, in order for me to share the details of everything, I need a good glass of wine. So as I've already mentioned, I'm going to be sharing with you guys the story of how I found out that I was pregnant, that we were going to be parents and be, So with my story, I had 2 pregnancies, and I'm sorry if there's a noise outside, it's raining, so for me, I fell pregnant twice. I had 2 pregnancies but 1 baby. Unfortunately, the other pregnancy, which was my first pregnancy, ended up in a miscarriage. And I don't think I want to get into the details of that because I'm not trying to be sad. Literally, I don't like being sad, so we're just not gonna share that. Hopefully one day I'll have the strength to share with you guys if you're really interested, but right now we're not gonna do that. So I'm just gonna take you guys back to 2021. Also, here's the reason why I'm sharing both the stories of how I found out I was pregnant. My second story is with my baby now, of how I found out I was pregnant. It's not that interesting. So I felt if I incorporate the other one, which I feel that the first pregnancy was how I found out was a little bit more interesting because of the whole journey leading towards the pregnancy itself. So yes, I'm going to take you back to 2021 when my partner and I started trying for a baby. And we thought, oh my gosh, it's going to be an easy journey. We're just going to try. In the second month or the first month, we're just going to be pregnant with our child. And unfortunately, that was not the case for us. We were one of those couples who had to try for a very long time. We tried for a good year to have a baby. I know it's crazy, literally so crazy. I saw so many negative pregnancy tests that I literally in my mind thought it was never gonna happen for me. So I feel like people just don't understand when you are so obsessed with your child, because it's like I never thought that this could ever be possible for me, you know. So after so many months of trying, like I've already said, we have been trying for 10 months. Month after month after month, it was a negative pregnancy test. Just going through that, I don't wish that journey upon any woman, because that is hell. That is so stressful. That is so discouraging. That is so painful. And then you get people telling you, oh my gosh, no, just don't stress, it's gonna happen. How can you not stress? Because first of all, you don't even know if this is going to ever happen to you or for you at all. And I think the other stressful part for me was like, I'm scared that my partner is even going to leave, because what is he going to do with a woman who's not able to give him kids, you know? And I think for him, he kept on reassuring me, like, I'm not going to go anywhere. You're not alone in this, But I just felt like, you're just saying that now. Let's see 5 years down the line if we still would be on the same journey. And obviously, I do understand there are men who would literally stay with you and stick with you no matter what. But it was kind of like very scary to think, could I be a statistic of women who are not able to have kids? And that's why I really empathize with women who can't have kids, because I walked the journey of trying to conceive and not getting there and being so frustrated, thinking it's not gonna happen for me. Like, I did not think that trying for a baby was as hard, because we were consistently trying. And when I say consistently, you guys, you don't know the half of it. You don't know half of it, okay? So I remember on the 10th month, it was somewhere around March, I had a hormonal imbalance where my hormones were just, all over the place. My periods were irregular, and I would have periods maybe this week, and then in 2 weeks again I'm on my periods again, or like they would take so much time to come. And in that, you would obviously think, oh my gosh, I'm pregnant. In that, when they take too long to come, you think, oh my gosh, this is the month I am pregnant, now I'm pregnant, da 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 da. and then you buy a pregnancy test and then it's negative again. That was so painful for me. And so I remember thinking, okay, now I have to go to a gynae because my periods are inconsistent, and obviously I can't fall pregnant if my periods are just, because when do I ovulate? Do I even ovulate at all? I go to the gynae, I get there, and he's like, oh, yeah, immediately, like, after I shared the story of my periods and stuff, and he was just like, oh yeah, you have hormonal imbalance. And I was just like, what is that? He's like, yeah, your hormones are all over the place, your male hormone, I can't remember, I don't know if they call it testosterone. Yeah, he said it was higher than your progesterone, so we need them to be on the same level just so you can be able to conceive. And I was like, can't you run some tests, like do some assessments to check if I was okay, if my reproductive system was okay? And he was like, no, I can't do that. Because of your age, you're supposed to try for a specific period, which is 1 year, exactly 1 year. Then you come back to me and say, we have tried for 1 year, nothing happened. And then from there, we can take it from there and see if we can run any assessments or any, tests or anything of that sort. I was just upset, like, are you serious? I've been trying for 10 months and you're telling me that I have to come back after exactly 1 year. So it's 2 months from now. What are the odds of me falling pregnant in 2 months from now after being trying for 10 months exactly? Like, what do you mean? What do you mean, sir? Like, I was just so like, this man doesn't understand. To top it all, he was like to me, I'm going to put you on contraceptives. I was like, what? Why are you doing that? Are you trying to sabotage my journey? I didn't say that to him, obviously, but I was just like, is this man just trying to sabotage me? Because why would you put me on contraceptives when I literally just told you that I'm trying to have a baby? But fast forward, he gives me, like I said, I didn't say all of that to him. I was just like, oh, okay, cool. He gives me the contraceptives. They were pills. I forgot what they call them. He said I needed to be them for a couple of months, and then they were gonna balance my hormones, and then after that we can start trying again. I was just like, oh no, this is just messing up with the whole plan. Now fast forward, I was on contraceptives for maybe 3 weeks, and I felt like this is just messing up the journey for me. It's gonna delay things for us, and I stopped. I think me being on them for that short period of time, it did something for me, because we tried again, we continued trying, and then on the 12th mark, which is in May, I conceived, and yeah, it was all great. Like, oh my gosh, finally. So how I found out, I just remember being at my aunt's place. Her baby was very small at the time, and I just remember having like major baby fever. And here's the thing, everybody in my family has a baby except me at the time, and I felt like, oh my gosh, am I the outcast? Am I an outcast? Because why is everybody having a baby except myself? So I just remember, why is God not blessing me? That's how I felt in that moment. At the time, I didn't know that I was actually pregnant. With me, fortunately or unfortunately, I think fortunately, I didn't have any symptoms or anything like that. So yeah, my boobs were just tender, and I was just feeling a little bit like moody kind of, and I just felt like, okay, my periods are definitely coming. I'm expecting my periods anytime now because I haven't been on my periods for a while. In my mind, I still thought it's hormonal imbalance. Like, my periods are definitely coming, but it's hormonal imbalance, and hence I'm not getting my periods. Oh my gosh, at the time, I don't know, I'm pregnant. So day 4, day 5 goes by, I'm still not on my periods. My app says you're 5 days late. Hibo, okay, but it's not a surprise because I'm used to that, right? The following day, it's a Monday, I decide, because I usually do this. And here's the thing, because we have been seeing so many negative pregnancy tests, my partner at that point was just like, babe, these things are just making you sad. Every month you're sad because of pregnancy tests. So I think it's best if you just stop checking them and just, let's just move on. If we find out you're pregnant, we will eventually, But me being me, I was just like, there's no way I'm just gonna sit and not take a pregnancy test. The following day, Monday, I decided to buy a pregnancy test after work. I go home, take a pregnancy test. It was just a normal clicks, like, I think it's called Medic, yeah. And then I take a test in the bathroom. I take a video of that. I film myself taking the pregnancy test, and then it turns out to be positive right there. Like, 2 blunt lines. Okay, hi everyone. So I'm in my bathroom right now because I'm about to take the pregnancy test because my period is late. I've been having a headache. My boobs are so painful, my nipples are so painful. But I'm like, you know what, it could be anything, it could be so many things. And I'm very anxious. I'm hoping for it to be positive because we've been trying for a year now. So I'd be really, really heartbroken and disappointed if it turns out to not be pregnant. So I'm really like scared, nervous, I'm anxious, I'm crossing fingers, I'm hopeful. So I'm about to pee on a stick now. Let's do it. Okay, I think I've waited for like 3 minutes. My heart is beating really fast. I'm about to reveal whether it's pregnant or not. I was so happy. I'm gonna insert that clip for you guys. I was so happy. Oh my gosh, there's no feeling in the world to describe that feeling. And so because I was just in so much disbelief, I was like, heck no. I stay next to Clicks. I'm walking to Clicks. It's like literally 5 minutes walk. I'm walking to Clicks. I'm gonna buy the clear blue pregnancy test because I never use those. I mean, if you've had so many negative pregnancy tests, why would your first pregnancy test be clear blue? It's so expensive. So I go back to the Clicks, I buy another pregnancy test, I go back home, shop. I get there, I take the test, it's positive. My man comes, literally, he was like, babe, I'm outside, can you come to my car? Because I needed to go get something. He needed me to come help him with something. I get there, I just jump on him because I'm like, oh my gosh, babe. And he's just said to me, I knew you were pregnant. So he just knew. When I got there, I was like, I have a surprise for you. He just knew the son is pregnant. So that's how I basically found out that I was pregnant with our first baby, which unfortunately ended up being a miscarriage. I miscarried the following month. So like I said, I'm not gonna get into the details of that particular story. It's a story for another day. I'm not trying to be sad. I'm not trying to do that. So fast forward, we had miscarriage in June. We decide that we were gonna allow ourselves time and space to heal, to recover emotionally, physically as well, because that was hectic. That was really hectic. So we did that. We agreed. We did that. After 3 months, we felt that we were ready. I felt that I was ready to start trying again. And yeah, the first month we did, and the following month nothing happened. We were not pregnant, and I was like, okay, it's probably gonna take as long as it did the first time, because remember the first pregnancy took so long. In my mind, I thought, it's gonna take as long. And sometimes you just try to find out when it's gonna happen. You go to social media, on YouTube, to try to find out if people have walked a similar journey as you. How long did it take them? Everybody's journey is different. I was hoping to get answers on YouTube, on social media, but unfortunately every woman's story of how they conceived, when did things happen, how things happened, it's going to be a complete different story compared to other people. So for me, I don't know what I was expecting. I was expecting Google or like YouTube to give me answers of how my story was going to unfold. It doesn't work like that. So I just remember being so scared that, oh my gosh, what if it never happened to me? Still, in the same mentality. The following month, I just remember there was a Friday. I was drinking wine, cooking, whatever, just being in a good mood. And then afterwards, my aunt gives me a call. She's like, I need you to come help me with my babies. I'm going somewhere during like this weekend, tomorrow, like as in Saturday going through Sunday. I said, fine. She needed me to come in the afternoon. And then I leave my place early because I had to meet up with a friend of mine for lunch. And then we did that. When I got there in Midrand, I had cocktails, child. I had cocktails at some point. I was having a good time, just having cocktails, enjoying myself. My aunt calls me like, hey, I'm waiting for you. I got to her place. I just remember having so much appetite. Guys, I ate literally everything in that house. When she came back, she was like, oh my gosh, like what happened? She didn't ask me, but she was just like, when I told her how much appetite I had at the time when I came to babysit for her, she was like, oh, no wonder my food was finished. Because I was just like, oh my God, what happened to my food? Guys, I ate everything. I craved from like tomato to bread with peanut butter, to like the weirdest things. Not even weird, like just random things. I'll just eat everything because I had so much appetite. I had cramps at the time. I didn't have any other symptoms except my boobs being full and just a tiny bit sore. For me, that was a norm because my PMS, my boobs are usually full and they have green veins and like, or blue veins, or like, you know, just pecky and stuff. But also I had cramps, and that was a norm for me. Like if I were expecting periods, I'd get cramps prior to pregnancy. Prior to my periods. So I was convinced, yeah, my periods are coming any day from now. Also, I'm late. My app says I'm 3 days late. This is also Sunday. The following day, I'm like, okay, no, it's fine. I'll get to work. The first thing I'll do is buy a pregnancy test. But still, I'm not thinking anything. I'm not thinking I'm gonna be pregnant because, like, I'm expecting this journey to be as long as the first one, right? Okay, sharp. Monday comes. I go to work. Before I go to work, I get to the office because I'm supposed to be at the office by 8. I get to the office just to show face, just so everybody can see that, you know, I'm there. I got in early. Then I leave again. I go to Discam. It's not far, like literally 3 minutes drive. I go there, buy a pregnancy test. I come back to the office, go upstairs immediately as I enter the entrance at the office, the door at the office with me. Once I get there, I take the pregnancy test. I literally bought one because I'm like, this is not gonna happen. And also, who takes a pregnancy test at work? Because I literally didn't think it would turn out to be positive. I didn't even film this time around because I'm like, it's not gonna happen, you know? I take it, guys, it says positive. I turn it around after like 4 minutes of waiting. I'm like, positive. 2 blind lights as well. Ding, ding, ding. I was so happy, like, oh my gosh. And oh my gosh, I had to contain my excitement, not share. Like, I had to keep quiet. I can't tell my partner over the phone. I'm gonna see him later, so I had to just keep it to myself. After work, I buy balloons and whatnot, and like I put them set up on the bed. When he comes back from work, he comes into a surprise. And he was like, what? Are we gonna be parents? And he embraced me. He was so happy. We were so happy. And it was a little bit stressful for the first 3 months. We had 4 attempted miscarriages. Attempted, not miscarriages, guys. Every time I say this, people miss the word attempted. So I almost had 4 miscarriages with the same baby. Oh, I don't even want to get into that. That's a story for another day. That and the miscarriage there, just a story for another day. Hopefully, I will gather the strength and be able to share those stories. But yeah, today we're just gonna focus on how I found out I was pregnant in both of my pregnancies. So I feel like this video is so long. Oh my gosh, I'm just gonna end it right now before I make it even so longer, like longer than it is right now. So that brings me to the end of this video. I really hope that you guys really did enjoy this particular video. If you did, please give it a huge thumbs up, and most importantly, subscribe to this channel. Tell your sister, your brother, your cousin, your auntie, your mom, your dad, everybody to come subscribe to this channel, because guys, I really would appreciate that. And yeah, I will see you guys in my next video. Thank you so much for tuning in. Bye. Bye.